Assembly nyina say inflation as we speak today, inflation aba form. Inflation drops to 3.8% in January 2026, down from 5.4 in December 2025. Just a month ago, now inflation ended on 5.4%. Menawoka say inflation in the history of the Republic of Ghana. And the Diana say end to mean Sidano is under John Mahama's administration. Just a year and about 2 months in office, no, or a month in office, no. John Mahama to me a movie inflation under Bawumia, na inflation was 54%. 54%. In a year and 1 month, John Mahama to me movie inflation from 54% to 3.8%. Boys, girls, this is not a joke. And ebia mo shemeno obaga se Kevin Taylor ka inflation ene dien e sene ye to nyoma boarding. John Mahama time obeje Ghana ye to abama no over 57% of the people population ye to abama no oba no na nyoma boa din akodu oha nchichemu eduonum and 45%, 55%, 54%. Na yentumi mpo ntotofi ni. And the John Mahama etumi ate nyoma so aba bedru oha nchichemu eye miensa echiri po nwoche 83.8%. And it should tell you say ye hwe oman no se ne ekọ na nyina de adwene ba na se bi oyetua yeto na ye de akomapa eboa president we ne oba party we ene aban we a Ghana for nyoma mu be ye emremo nyoma beba fom because so hwe be bia John Mahama ebefa Ghana now say it taking 8 years for him to be able to bring inflation even to maybe 23%. But John Mahama in a year and 1 month, John Mahama ate me the inflation of 54%. Edi ababedru a year 3.8%. Now, the most interesting thing is Saoko Ejasua. When you go into the market, na opese uhu nyoma senia nyoma bo aba form we ye omangasa Joy News omo multimedia cocaine fosi kan ye de no omo na mo de abeto abonten se ampa John Mahama aban ni ba so no nyoma bo ayefo bebi a omo beto nyoma bo no ende omo tuma te nyoma bo no so abeduru bebi a ebi nsi e wo Ghana ya bra bom na wo hwe eye table here that TV so a ma menche wade. Let's take our time and go through it. Mami enlarge no se na be akwase bi nka se ye dada obi wa ha. Now, when you enlarge the table, this is what you see. Top 20 items that recorded deflation, that fall in prices. Now, nyoma edionu. Nyoma aya sebio, nyoma yetoto, nyoma yedidja yekodwa kodwa yekoto kauro ye garden X dien koyi nyoma nkwa edionu 20. And hu senya nyoma no bo no aba form. Now, nyoma na ebi ni dien ebi ni garden X. You see eba the garden X nyadwa eswati 58.7%. Eswati oha echichemu edionum inwotwe echiri ponson. Senya nyoma ne boy afono no. Aban na tumi ate nyadwa so 58.7%. And the okoi kruma nyadwa yefo. And intina and the ukofie bi mu a omo ye nyadwa mpesi, nyadwa stew, garden X stew, garden X soup. Just say obi onta nyadwa boy yefo under John Mahama aban, under NDC aban. Eba bibi to say fish, fried fish, and nama yachi. Enam ya yachi ya. And the omo tumi ate so 50.7%. Oha enchichemu edionu. Chili ponson 50.7%. Omotumi ati enama yache so. And then den kan fo nyina ni age because onya do kono ba ko a otumi nyam enam 4. Onya do kono ba ko a otumi nya enam 5 because enam no boy fu eswate. And the oban kan fo mu nyina ni age okay mini yano esi enije aban kan memu wo hia gamancha sere nko because ende enam fish ayache ne boy fu. And the gamashi gamanche gan for ma before nyina no obia eni if you say omino nentotoye no aban no eboa emanyoma eduane bo ekofom now oba bibi say kontomire green leaves omo motenkan no omo asebio omo ene nkofo be tonton poboa ewo ye na omo so omo de omo ntitwi no omo friend kontomire in kontomire and yate so 49.1% and ukodwoma kontomire boa ye fo first no na kontomire wuntumi nto and kontomrai okwa ende ebunebunu nkwan ekoso ende bebi obefa bi ebunebunu nkwan last week ba Ghana obi eye ebunebunu nkwan ma me hu am say eh na ebunebunu nkwan na dose am say I kontomrai fo ende omutwi kontomre kakra omunua na omutwi kakra ende oba amoya ampesie ende oba santime ma ampesie buso efise kontomre ayefo nti de ekoso Ghana no we ene sene Ghana no oman no emu ayemre a nipa bi sebio omunyina agiatum say president ne oman no government no chichire oman ye bibi ti say eye fresh tomatoes popo eye bofre ya yese bofre boy fo nti ende obekọ sofo bia fie ne atwitwa bode egu plate so ende amanfo didi a obutumi nya eye fruit kakra bofre kakra e de pom minim obekọ pentecost sofo nyina fie no na bofre she fridge because bofre ne boy fo ya te bofre so 46.9%. Ya tibo freso 46.9%. And obienwa obeka se bo fre boy din and oko eye hotels, hospitals and obeko sofu biafie ye twitwa bo fre egu plate ma sebio oye fasting kakra not bo fre etwi ne minim bo fre boy fo bibi ti se eye fresh tomatoes in toast ya asantifon toast in toast nketenkete no ene akese no ya ti in toast so 42.5%. eye oha nchichemu eduanan mienu echi pon enum 42.5%. ya teso amende into sayefo fresh tomatoes anything and the nkrakra and obeko kumasi fie bantame fie eye okwasankregwa ura eye ficheshema obia bon krankra because tomatoes na yefo unya opo tomatoes miensa enan bia uduguma na ewuro we ni de John Mahama aban na ye ama sese nipa didi mo ho ka mo ho and yetuminya eye what we call the balanced diet. A balanced diet eduane bibia kakra wom fresh tomatoes ya teso bibi ti se okra abrafo friend okra ba no your teacher for say friend okru and ya tinkruma so intende oko awunamema davi ene efomu no almost sese mela kopela glem and omo ye akpele na enche bo se nkruma no obeko no mo sensene enti obeko no mo sensene nkruma omo tumi sensene nkruma on sa awunafo no tumi de aye ahoma anase material bi chichire omo nsa we no na omo de twitwa nkruma no an se maame no ye bi na omo de twitwa nkruma no ene obeko na awunafo sensene nkruma omo sensene nkruma mo nhwe because nkruma boyefo ya te nkruma so eye 40.6%. Ubajoma nkruma bebre ni nyina John Mahama ne NDC aban ena ede ASEM ABA. Now sa uko wenima bibi etise cabbage eno ye fantefo no cabbage stew and okwa cabbage ya teso 38.6% and also boaba form ayafu ye cabbage ye twitwa infantefo ya cabbage stew a weni beje keke we twitwa cabbage kakra no twitwa carrot kakra intend infantefo bia fia we ko bia no we say e bon cabbage stew ni nyina because cabbage bo ayafu. Now uba baby to say carrots and also still infantefo fie first na Mr. Brownson, Mr. Hansen and Mr. Root omu nyina no omu didi bia nanka first and get the carrot kakra na toso and ukonfantefo fie omad nyina dan ndanko we hello, how are you? Work a carrot, and the carrot boy fu and so aba form and internet inflation abedu 3.8 no eduane boy fu and na meju dwamu no na uko wenim kakra obehu bibi ti say grapes montandi grapes or Ghana and which they tell you sabrofo aduane ye nyina na edi time na Samson Delilah edin komo aduane ase no na grapes no mudi and the Ghana kodwom na busa se me pe grapes ato obenya biato enya abrofo aduane ye nyina ye de hianti and I say grapes ya brofodia eyo hianti na sa eye grapes na Samson edia Samson anhwe no ye di twa ne ti no ene ne tiri free so no ene de bia be pie Ghana John Mahama abanti grapes boy fu enya brofodia ye nyina na edi o hianti na agin se duane bia brofodia ne enti mum yenko krom na yenko bu say grapes Kevin say bibia free grapes na yema mu bi na ne boy fu na di na ma ohon so ento so because mu nipa bebre no mbodi na achenchene because grapes nim now uko wenima bibi etise eye Shebata inkuto and inkuto boyfo. Ya titi inkuto so 24.0% and the inkuto ayafo and obatanku yentobium esi ankuto esi woto abrochire nku a na de nkuto kakra fra inkuto so de etaro skin na and it hu srem fomba omobody no because nkuto enom de from nku srem fomba onta hu srem niba ne skin enyefe because nkuto shebata and they tinkuto so emende obeso ko into inkuto business a obetu ni sika kakra bi ko a obenya nkuto ato ama sebio wonso wadwuma akoso obeso ye nkuto ye nnuane a yetumi di nkuto ye aduane very healthy Tetino, na madam for the gatini, na or the inkuto enya beans mamidi. That was the first time we test TB. Your friend Bamfal and Sagre alasa kachufu seni. I Bamfal and Sagre alasa kachufu seni. Or the gatini. Only the first person or the beans any inkuto and mixi ya midi bina musa. Yes, the gati for munia ding. Ni ding at the Bamfal and Sagre alasa kachufu seni. Baby ubiano nyami inshao. Inti aya inkuto so ebo ayo fofofo. Now aya ebro corn. I ebro eswati aba eye 23.1% na John Mahama ban ati ebro so. Intende moi mupe ebro aduane sebio mesimfo a mupe banku se banku e mesimfo aduane ene moi sebio mu yedwuma den moi sebio mu twitro mupe banku because mu se banku de mu dia eche moi mupe mesimfo aduane driver fo aduane banku ende banku boyfo first ye twa banku se na wo yem hyehyw banku nti na manfo nya BP ende ye twa banku ye twa ne mbemmem ye twa banku ne nija ba because ebro eboyfo ene obekọ ye hu videos bebre social media so a amanfo extra president say mankofo meto ye bro because ye dua mana bro so we ene aban papa aba amadwane bo ayefo bibi ete say eye petrol and petrol yate so 20.9%. Team stay with me. Yate petrol so 20.9%. John Mahama aban eba power. Omati petrol so Mr. B. Mr. What's this? Mr. Okay, I'll take care of it. And yate petrol so 20.9%. John Mahama aban eba power and the obienim. Yen nyina enu si ati petrol so nyoma ende edwedifo obia HMPP fo nko am beso mbeji atum sa omo si enti petrol so omo de omo ntone dada na yen ne Ghana for de yen nyina enim se ya eden ya ti petrol so 20.9%. Diesel ya ti so 20.4%. Bibi ti say eye Guinea corn and I said your friend sogum no and so yate so aba form millet eye eyuo and so yate so and ukosirima pito boyefo first no 2-3 years ago now to pito na pito adane champagne na pito boy didn't say wine and over sirima uba ya ni asro yade ni abro pito first no and Bawumia&Ken Ofori-Atta na pito ho boy didn't say wine. Now do sima unya pito bonto because your more pito kraba kwa ultimate na 50-70 Ghana and pito millet eye eyuo eye de abafom ne bona bafom ya take millet so enkwa eye 19.6%. Millet ayefu intende pito ebu intende obasrema gidi bia ni wo anything and obasrema bia bas bebrebe no munyeska because pito no so eye chance obenom ensa no odin pito ye nsa bia sebio mild and a good because eboa nipa no intende obasrema nijaba pito ne boayefu. Now bibi to say green pepper we dey say anya petition for there but omo say bi omo green pepper be from oduane kakra ne ade no yate green pepper so and so ne bo ayefo gobe eye gele any beans no and yate so and freedom and justice no yate gobe so na bibia ye okay yate gobe so 16.6%. Mr. President munya gobe no bibi nkodu 99.9% because gobe dey nketu 1 cedi na nke chance ma and betum na 93 years into Mr. President gobe 16.6 still I'm not satisfied. Can you move gobe up into automatic gobe so be 99.9%? Ni ehun se gobe ne dey yesi aye nto into nam kroma gobe ura na so orukuta chance no dey gum and they are gele any beans so amana ba form. Now bibi to say a year shelled coconut, right? Oh, shelled granite, sorry. Shelled granite. Enkatia, enkatebowie, and enkatia you huso. The aye economy for no huso in chachra. Sankatia no better economy muna, na omusan in chachra, omu yen senumo huso. Ene aye enkatebowie, matina economy mobia in katebowie da, and they think katebowie so unim katebowie. Enkatia ni ebono pa. No way inkatia no awe your friend in Catebowie and the John Mahama ban at in Catebowie so intend the omo mucha loto in Catebowie the omo mutopa no omo mucha loto no loto forecasters no Paul Ademoche no of omo tom in Catebowie omutima oh madam my 2 cities and the atiso in the 2 cities say a bear paper ma na mo the team na mo de work loto numbers no 1972 1973 ni nyina in Catebowie loto for the omo topa intend taxi drivers no taxi station enya omo cast time nya ndru so omo be load no omo so pen category pa station master for pen category lotto forecasters pen category na sebi o nurse for nketo omo ba omo hye na niska no omo practice illegality bia no omo so pen category entin category na yate so and ya tinka tie so na bibi di say watermelon eno so yate so pa mo a monum ye mo de no eno so yate so be 14.1% ana banana kodua ye ne kodua eno so yate so nti inflation na about 3.8 no it is basically helping Ghanaians. It is really helping Ghanaians. Anytime I catch you said, dear John Mahama buying we are, and yet easy. Now, the Obeso share records be or ha, yanko e chika kra. Inflation ends 2022 at record 54.1%, lending rates to remain high. Data show 2022. Under Bawumia, inflation echo 54.1. Under Bozege, under Bawumia 2022, inflation echo ya could do 54.1. Eka de anke do 60. Eka de. Under Bawumia, head of the economic management team. Under Bawumia, head of FX committee. Under Bawumia, the vice president of Ghana in charge of finance. Under Bawumia, inflation in 2022 it could do 54.1. And under John Mahama and Professor Nano Pukwajiman, inflation was 3.8. Okay, tell me say, yenja Indian Sanfa Ghana Sanko Sheba Umiansem. Ye Jimmy 4. Ye Jimmy 4. Okay, say upon the year upon Sadia record with this Bawumia's terminal report. Where into the Bawumia say interest in Twabamano 54.1 inflation would could do 54.1. Or see and show with the Sanfa Ghana and Shenism. Now the Ghana Sheba Umiasema inflation would be 300. And that mistake there, we should not even think of it. Say, the Ghana Besha Bawumia&Ken. Now they are koto. Now they are Nimyansa. Ye Bawumia terminal report in year 2022, or the inflation could do 54.1. Time and I busa the questions, no dear term, no, yeresa. Ye busa the questions, no, I'm Ghana, the incompetent one. Now, you say, ye busa Bawumia, nyoma boy a ding, it do 54.1. No, you say, yeah, yes, Bawumia, gu komu, next year, no, you say, yes, gu komu, and the Bawumia say, yes, some for Ghana, Shan and San for inflation, go 54.1. Now, ye Jimmy Anna, ye Jimmy say a bear, sir. Who in their right senses will sit back and say, let me hand over the country back to this guy who took inflation to 54.1. Now, my mention record be NDC are buying way. They be NDC are better managers of the economy. And now look at this. Inflation drops to 3.8. At the record to be and these are some of the things I need NPP for a challenge. Now, on the back of the 3.8 inflation rate recorded for January 2026, it bears placing on record that the NDC has the best economic record under the Fourth Republic as follows. Now here, highest growth rate of 14.4% in 2011. In 2011, growth rate could do 14.4% in the history of the Republic of Ghana. In the Fourth Republic, government be with my NDC in quantity to my SRD. These are facts. But we have data, and the data never breno on one church data. Now, the second record that NDC are buying, in Chekase, NDC are better managers of the economy. They are the ones who also trust. Trust in trust to Omumu. Omu also job with this to match 2011 highest growth rate 14.4. Obiantu breaking record. No, they are back again and they are doing more things. Now, Oko Aya record lowest inflation rate of 2.9% April 1999. Under NDC, and they recorded the lowest inflation rate, which is 2.9, and then it is at 3.8. That means the NDC can bring inflation; it can break its own record. That means NDC record on which set it to 1999. Inflation almost to be reduced to do 2.9. No, now and there in less than 2 years, NDC the inflation free 54. Bawumia inflation of 54.1. Now NDC they are about to do 3.8 in a year and 1 month. It means NDC can break its own record and bring inflation down to maybe 1.1 or 2.5 or 2.6 or 2.7 or even 2.8. These are the better managers of the economy, and the facts are there. The data is showing, say, they are better. We need to hand over the country to them, not comedians. Not comedians who just read from some papers and start dancing and humiliating themselves. No. Now, these are the records. Longest sustained single-digit inflation of 33 months from 2010 to 2012. Single-digit inflation. NDC from 2010 to 2012 for 2 years, almost 3 years. The inflation rate, is stayed as single-digit for 33 months. For 33 months. NDC from 2010 to 2012, hold the single-digit inflation. For 33 months. These are records. These are facts. Into the AC in there, it is not new. It is something they have done before, and they are determined to break their own records. What you are seeing today in Ghana, and yet fallacy. The John Mahama and NDC for a idea of my paying. A idea omunim se ombetuma ye and it's we are seeing 3.8 single digit inflation today. It is not like omunye bida omaye their change say that. So they can bring inflation lower because they have done it before. It was around 2.9. They held it for 33 months. These are facts. Now, Oko Wenima, you will see highest annual cedi appreciation of 40.7% against the dollar in 2025. Cedi, sometimes I appreciate it. I appreciate it. In the history of the Republic of Ghana, in 2025, Cedi to me appreciate it 40%. The strength, ejina swa 2025 anti-amba form. Na ewa huodin chen dollar Cedi was strong. Cedi continuously was strong for about 40.7% during the time. Enya huodin jina ne naso. And yes, and there, Cedi nya huodin na huodin aba form. Na in 2025, NDC ba power Cedi huodin 40.7%. Ejina ne naso sa. And it shows you the consistency in governance. They are showing consistency. So, trajectory, pace. You could see say something is being done consistently. Consistency is very important in governance. It is NDC for power from 2025. Sibia consistent in how they manage the economy. They are the party. We able to me say if they govern for the next 41 years, we are going to have a Ghana that nobody will want to travel out of. Now, Osakwa, this is another record at NDC for. These are better managers of the economy. Yeah, the records in it to MPP4 will be famra. Now, you see this. Largest reserves of 13.8 billion at the end of 2025. Since say at Ghana, Abaya etumi making sure say yenye sika adayechi. 13.8 billion and MP NDC by 2025 omutumi accrue ye de two yechimaye sika edawa yenchimba ye reserve sika edayechi 13.8 billion dollars in 2025 alone. Sika yenyaye as a nation because we have a government filled with people who are intelligent to know how to manage the affairs of the nation, how to economically maneuver, how to economically make sure say we the citizenry know they have been able to set all these records. So nobody should sit there and talk. This is straightforward. Hand over the country to them for the next 41 years and they will make sure consistency plays. Now, when you go down there, highest import cover of 5.7 months as of end of 2025, among others. It is social records when why should anybody hand over the country to NPP Bawumia, the same Bawumia who said when the exchange rate when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, right? The same Bawumia could not even defend his own statements. We cannot hand over Ghana to a man who is not consistent, who basically lies to himself. This is Bawumia. And you see, sometimes we do these things to let you know the kind of people are. This is Bawumia. He told us, say, when the fundamentals are weak, exchange rate expose you. The same Bawumia, when he failed to make sure say dollar no sebio see the name and dollar no etuma manage economy you know who say we fail you know. He tried to use lies to cover up his lies. This is Bawumia. Listen to this comedian.
You will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic? It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies logic. That defies logic. There could be other external factors causing the exchange rate depreciation. For example, if I tell you that if your leg is broken, you are going to be unable to walk, then I'm somewhere and somebody comes to tell me, this person is unable to walk. Can I just conclude that their leg must be broken? There can be other reasons why you are unable to walk. But the NDC logic will insist, in the face of contrary evidence, that since you cannot walk, then it must mean your leg must be broken.
You see the problem I have with Bawumia? When you were in opposition, and our culture Ghana for say, NDC your power. When the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So you knew that other external factors could cause the exchange rate to expose an economy. So why he said that time, from was a good economist, why didn't you consider external factors before you made that emphatic statement in 2015 that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you? Now, why are you now telling us to say, now, dear, we need to understand, say, external factors can also mean, say, the air cost, it is not the only reason to exchange rate, a change. Bawumia, basically, I think Bawumia, when he's sleeping, he talks to himself. Or set on one questions. Or we are no best answer questions. No, catch on our being. In 2015, when you were saying that the John Mahama administration, because the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose them when it was exposing them. But didn't you know that when you were making that statement in 2015, there was something called external factors, other things that can affect the exchange rate? Now you come to power, and now you move away from your initial statement and tells us, say, I NDC for the because right now, no, you have run the country down, and that there are other factors that are affecting the exchange rate. Intimawa Obian Blemu, Intiasan Ghana. Are you a psychopath? Where did you learn your economics? How did you get here as an economist? Who should take you serious as a human being? And honest truth is, I don't want to use any strong words at you because I think say, if we use strong words at you, it's not important. It's a waste of energy because you don't cut it. There's nothing about you that shows everyone, and as anyone say, you are smart enough to handle the country on your own. You are not smart enough. You lie to yourself, and sometimes, I know say, Jimmy, this basic thing you yourself, you are exposing your ass as an economist. It is unim say untumi kanjo bi say obina ne ya eche so untumi nantia. Then why were you before telling Ghanaians to say fundamentals need weaker exchange rate no expose them, because it was an emphatic statement? So why do you want to turn the same thing and now use that to defend your abysmal their incompetent leadership? Bawumia, you have lost it. And we are going to play your own words. We are going to use your own vague mind statement to judge you. We are not going to go anywhere. We are going to be here. We will show you your terminal report every single day. Every day we will show you your terminal report. Because what the one man is easy.